leader and a leadership development professional. Through her work, Stephanie helps her clients reduce turnover and absenteeism while increasing productivity, engagement, and satisfaction by building powerful relationships. Stephanie holds not one, but 3 degrees, all from NC State University.
Go back.
A BA in Business Management and Economics, a Master's of Education in Adult Education, and a Master's of Education in Counseling. She's also an International Coaching Foundation certified professional coach. Stephanie owns Flashpoint International, where she works with leaders at all levels of an organization to help them translate love into a powerful leadership strategy. Please join me in welcoming Stephanie McDilda.
Thank you, Heather. In 1993, I had a dream. I had this crazy idea that I could positively impact the lives of a lot of people if I would go back to school and get my degree in counseling. So I applied for admission to the program at NC State, partly because I was a 2-time graduate already, and partly because I had a family and a job, and they had a great evening program. So I worked on my application, I sent it in, and I waited expectantly for good news. About 3 weeks later, I got this letter in the mail. I want to share it with you. It's dated March 19th, 1993. It says, "Dear Ms. McDilda, your application and supporting documents for admission to our graduate school have been received. The department to which you applied has carefully evaluated your credentials in terms of the requirements of its particular program, considering as well the qualifications and performance of students currently studying in the department. After careful consideration, the department has not recommended your admission. I concur with the department's recommendation and therefore must deny your request for admission. Specific details concerning your request may be obtained from the department to which you applied. We trust, I wish you well, trust that you can make suitable adjustments in your career plan." Well, I decided to take their advice and make an appointment with the dean, Dr. Stewart. That's not his name, but I'll call him that, Dr. Stewart. And he told me that I was rejected because of my undergraduate degree, my undergraduate grades. Now, he wasn't wrong, because I had a very difficult undergraduate experience. I finally graduated on the 6-year plan at the same time as my sister, who was 2 years younger than me. Now, I have to tell you that my sister graduated with honors. I, on the other hand, was honored to graduate. I like to tell people she graduated cum laude, and I graduated thank the Lordy. So, but in my own defense, I have to tell you guys that I came back after my undergraduate degree and went back to school in adult education, and I returned to NC State. I had a hard time getting in then, but when I graduated, I had a 3.97 average. So I really thought that that should have some merit. It did not. According to Dr. Stewart, they only considered my undergraduate grades. At some point, I was arguing with him, and at some point, I realized that I wasn't making any progress with him, so I stood up, thanked him for his time, and headed for the door. Halfway to the door, I turned around, and I looked at him. And I said, "Dr. Stewart, you need to know that I plan to apply again next year." And he said to me, "Ms. McDilda, you may apply as often as you like. The thing that kept you out this year will keep you out next year and every year for the rest of your life." Now, I want to tell you, I was so proud of myself. I got all the way out his door and down the stairs before I burst into tears. I cried all the way home. And I really want to share with you that I pushed forward courageously. But the truth is, I spent the next 48 hours with about 12 boxes of Kleenexes and in the company of my best friends, Ben and Jerry. I will tell you, though, that when I pulled myself together, I decided that this was not going to be the end of the story and that I wanted to put together a plan and move forward. I spent a year working on that plan. However, the plan itself is secondary to what I want to share with you tonight. Because the thing that was important is what I learned about living my dream. And that's what I'd like to share with you this evening. I could not be prouder to be here tonight with you guys at the Soroptimist Award Banquet. I wanted to mention, and you guys saw just a minute ago up on the screen, that Soroptimist International is one of the largest professional women's service organizations in the world, with a focus on improving the lives of women and girls through programs leading to social and economic empowerment. Tonight our theme is Live Your Dream. It's something that I've been doing for quite a long time. Now, many of you who know me know that I have a passion for heart-based leadership, or as I like to say, leading with love. As a woman, I think that we have a secret superpower that has to do with love. A favorite theme for Soroptimist is ordinary women, extraordinary impact. I don't know about you, but that inspires me. If you have a dream, no matter how big or how small it is, you will impact the lives of others. Even if you only impact one person, for all you know, that person could go on and change the world. So no matter who you impact, it'll be important. Tonight, I want to share with you 3 keys to assessing your superpower and living your dream. The first key is loving yourself. A while ago, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she had had a bad day with her boss. And she looked at me and she said, "You know, it says in the Bible you're supposed to love one another as you love yourself. Isn't it a shame that most people don't do that?" I almost agreed with her. But then I thought about something. I thought, wait a minute. What if people are doing that? What if they do love themselves as they love another person? But what if they just don't love themselves? For how many of us is that true? We don't love ourselves. The philosopher Thich Nhat Hanh said, when another person makes you suffer, it is because he suffers deeply within himself and his suffering is spilling over. Sadly, too many women don't love themselves. For some odd reason, we've been taught that it's vain to love yourself. I have learned that you cannot give what you don't have. So here are some ways that you can start to love yourself. The first one is courage. It takes courage to believe in yourself and to pursue a dream. You'll find a lot of people who will tell you that you can't do it. People used to say to me, "You can't say love in a business environment." And I listened for a while. And then finally I realized what a toll it was taking on my heart. I was not following my dream. So the one thing I want to tell you is stop worrying about what other people think and do what you think. Listen to your heart. The second thing is confidence. Now, confidence is your estimation of your ability to do something. I have a lot of clients who will tell me, "I'll do it when I feel comfortable. I'll do it when I'm confident." So I want to share with you something called the confidence paradox. The confidence paradox says that the truth is the exact opposite. You will feel comfortable after you do it. And the more you do something, the more comfortable you will feel doing it. Most of us are trapped inside our comfort zone. And so I want to encourage you tonight to think about building your confidence by stepping outside of your comfort zone. I am a big Facebook fan. Anybody here a big Facebook fan? I spend way too much time on Facebook, and some of you who are friended to me, you know that. because I'm on there too much. But I spend that much time on Facebook because I have the coolest friends. And some of them are all sitting right here. And the coolest friends post really inspirational stuff. One day I should write a book called Facebook Philosophy, I think. But last week, a friend of mine posted something, and the post said, sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. Tiptoe if you must, but take the step. Do the thing that you're afraid to do, because I promise you, if you wait until you're ready, you are not going to do it. The other thing I want to do tonight is urge you to give up something, and that something is perfectionism. I won't ask you to raise your hands, but I'll bet a lot of you are thinking, oh yeah, I'm a perfectionist, right? We're all perfectionists. But perfectionism is actually a form of self-abuse. It comes from two things. It comes from a feeling that you're not good enough. And I don't know why, but I think that's a universal feeling. We all have this feeling like, I'm not good enough. The second thing it comes from is a feeling that in order to be loved, I have to be perfect. In his book, The Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz has 4 things that he thinks lead to a happier life. His 4th law is to do your best, always do your best. So I'm going to encourage you tonight to strive to be excellent, but give up the need to be perfect. Now, I can't leave this key without saying also that a very important part of loving yourself is being happy. The first time someone told me that happiness was a choice, I wanted to slap them. Definitely. But then I realized that that's the truth. Happiness is a habit, and so is unhappiness. You get to choose. There are 3 factors that I want to share with you about happiness. One is your view, your story, your attitude. So the view is what you focus your attention on grows in your experience. Now, I was reading a book called E Square, and the author encouraged us to try an experiment, to pick something that we don't see a lot of, and then just say, I want to see more of those. For me, I decided it was green cars. I never see black and white cars and silver cars, and said, I want to see a green car. So I sat down and I said, I want to see green cars. It didn't take more than 2 hours. I was stopped at the stoplight and a green car pulled up next to me. Then I was walking down the street and a green car drove past. And I thought to myself, wow, this is pretty cool. Every time I turned around, there on the dealer's lot, there was a green car. Now, I ask you, did the universe suddenly manufacture all these green cars just for me? I kind of doubt it. I think what is more likely is that I suddenly became aware of green cars. I think the truth really hit home for me, though, when I was in the grocery store and I came out of the grocery store and was putting my groceries in the car, and I looked up, and there beside me was not 1, not 2, but 3 green cars right in a row. At that point, I said, darn, I should have said, show me the money. But at any rate, what you focus on is what you see. What you see is what you get. I've been told by people that the past does not exist. All that is left is the story you tell about the past. So I'm going to ask you, what story do you choose to tell about your past and about your life in general? When I tell you about this story with NC State, I could focus on how unfair it was and how I was treated so poorly. Or I could focus on how it motivated me and encouraged me and helped me to grow. So ask yourself, what story do you choose to tell about your life? The third thing is your attitude, and I'm going to encourage you to have an attitude of gratitude. I'll give you a little exercise so you can all try this when you go home. I have a little book that I keep in my purse, and at the top of the page every morning I write the date. I number from 1 to 10, and then I force myself to write down 10 good things that happened to me today. Sometimes you got to make it up. One time I wrote down, the vending machine ate my money and didn't give me any donuts, so I get to lose weight this time. But to find more happiness, shift your focus, change your story, and practice gratitude. So if the first key is love yourself, the second key is to love others. Once you learn to love yourself, loving other people is actually kind of easy. And I got to tell you guys, sometimes when you're living your dream, it's a long road. And it's nice to have somebody to walk that road with you. So here are a couple things that I think you need to worry about when you're thinking about loving other people. Kindness, compassion, and connection. Strive every day to be kind. Be kind in your words and your actions and your thoughts. Kindness does not require big actions. You can do something as simple as smile. Hold the door for someone. Say thank you. People tell me all the time, well, I never have these opportunities. And what I'm going to tell you is the opportunity is there. You're just not seeing the opportunity. I'd like to share a story with you about my sister. Last week, she ended up in the hospital at Duke, very suddenly, seriously ill. One night, I think the third day she was in the hospital was actually her birthday. And the night before, I was talking to her husband, and he was telling me an update on her condition. He said, I feel kind of bad. I said, why? He said, I've been back and forth to the hospital, taking care of the dogs, up and down the road. He said, and tomorrow's Barbara's birthday. And I didn't have a chance to order any flowers or get her anything. Do you hear the opportunity? Huh? Absolutely. I said to him, when you get home tonight, flowers will be on the kitchen table so you can take them in the morning to the hospital. Then I went to Whole Foods, got a big bunch of flowers, went to their house and broke in. Well, I had a key. Went to their house, I put the flowers on the table, and the next morning he signed a little card. He signed it, Happy Birthday, Love Stud Muffin. I shouldn't have told you that part. But I think the biggest thing is that we need to be aware of opportunity. Have you noticed lately that kindness seems to be a lost art? It does to me. And I don't know if it's because people are more stressed or if it's because we're so, into our social media. I was, one of the things that I've done several times, when I'm walking into the grocery store, you'll see people who are pushing their cart back to the grocery store empty. And I always say, can I take that cart for you? I'd be glad to return that. And they always go, thank you. So about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was pushing the empty cart back to the store. 4 feet away from me was a young lady, I would guess about early 20s, on her phone, texting away, and she walked side by side with me all the way to the store, never once asked me if she could take my cart. Now, she was under no obligation to do that, but what I want you to see is just the awareness. When you are so wrapped up in something else, you don't have the awareness. Be kind to everyone, not just the people who are kind to you. Because being kind is who you are, not just what you do. Kindness given out multiplies, it's contagious, and what you give out returns to you. Compassion is the deep caring that's required to make a difference for others. It's your ability to walk in their shoes and understand their feelings. Know that everyone you meet is doing the best they can right now in the moment. Maya Angelou said to Oprah one time, you're doing the best you can right now, and when you know better, you will do better. Many of us are quick to judge, so I'm going to ask you guys to give up judgment. It's so easy for us to judge other people. Mother Teresa said, if you judge people, you have no time to love them. I learned not to judge Dr. Stewart. Now make no mistake, right afterwards, I called him some names I won't repeat up here. But I realized that he was doing the best he could in his job at the moment. I also remembered that the universe provides us with opportunities and teachers. And he played a big role in making me the resilient, strong person that I am today. Wayne Dyer says, when you judge another person, you do not define them. You define yourself. So learn to forgive, because forgiving others has a bigger impact on you than you realize. Allow yourself to be connected to other people. The most extraordinary gift you can give somebody is the gift of your time and your attention. We all find it easy to express love when we're truly connected. We're all sharing this human experience, and it's easier if we do it together. When my sister went into the hospital, I was quite upset and nervous, and I posted about it on Facebook. And I got to tell you guys, within 2 hours, I had 200 people telling me that they were praying for her, that they were sharing, their encouragement, and that they hoped that I was okay. In fact, several people said, keep us posted, let us know what happens. And by the way, she is home safe and sound today. But connection requires you to look at how you see other people. Do you see the best in them, or do you assume the worst every time? Be connected. So key number 1 is love yourself. Key number 2 is love other people. And key number 3 is love the dream. To love your dream requires vision, passion, and purpose. You know, every one of you out here, because I can tell looking at you, every one of you know what speaks to your heart. The vision is the what of your dream. Be clear on what you want, because if you don't know what you want, it's really hard to articulate it to someone else. It's hard to know what actions to take next. So ask yourself, what do you want more than anything? What talks to you at the core of who you are? Deep inside, you know. Even if you think you don't, I promise, deep inside you know. So be silent and listen clearly until you hear the dream. The purpose is your why. You'll strengthen the power if you not only understand what, but why you want something. So it's really important. Speaker Chad Hyman said, people fail because they lack the vision of the impact they could have on the world. Think about that a minute. People fail because they lack the vision of the impact they could have on the world. What if you did the thing that's speaking to your heart? How many people would you touch? How many people would you be out there helping? Passion reflects how important the dream is to you. Edwin Gaines once said, be so on fire about your life that people will come from miles around to watch you burn. So stop playing small. You have too much to do. Love the dream and realize you are called to do something important. Live your dream like it matters, because it does more than you know. I wish I had time to tell you all the details that went into the plan that I worked in 1993. I can tell you, though, what's more important is that during that time, I learned to love myself. I learned how important it was to love other people and trust other people, and I learned to love my dream so much that I could not let it go. I want to close by sharing another letter with you. This is the original. I actually kept the originals. This one is dated 1 year later, March 17th, 1994. It says, Dear Miss McDilda, I am pleased to notify you of your admission to our graduate school. We look forward to having you with us and trust you will find your experience here a thoroughly satisfying and rewarding one. Our records on your admission will carry the following information: admission status full, degree sought, Master of Science, curriculum, counselor, education. If we can assist you at any time, please do not hesitate to call or write us. You see, we are all ordinary women with the power to have extraordinary impact. Live your dream no matter how big or how small, because you will change the world. God bless you.